Americans buy a lot of super yachts, but they don't build very many, apart from in Washington State, where Westport has been building boats since 1964. And this is the brand new W117. It replaces the 112 and it's having its world premiere here at Palm Beach. And if you think you know what Westport's all about, well, this has got a surprise in store. So stick with me on this tour and I'll show you what I mean. I'm Jack Haines, welcome to YachtBuyer. Before we crack on with this tour, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell icon, you'll be notified every time we upload a new video. Right, this tour, we're going to start down here at the Beach Club. Big news in the world of Westport. Beach Club might be pushing it a little bit, but it's still a nice area to have. You can see this is a very impressively engineered hatch. When it closes down, you've still got a door in there as well, so you can get in without lifting up this whole thing. And you'll also spot there's a shower, speakers, lighting in there. And then down in this bit, you've got somewhere you can just sit in the shade. You've got a fridge down here, sink, ice maker, so you can be right down by the waterline, enjoying swimming and stuff, but you have all of your equipment down here. There's actually a bathroom down there inside the engine room as well, so you're not too far away from the toilet. Works really nicely. And over on this side, this is, again, not something you see all that often. It's actually got a mini petrol station in there, so you've got a petrol tank and you can fill the tender from down here. Very, very convenient indeed. Right, check out the cockpit. The first thing you're met by in the cockpit on the port side is the bar. Nice bar area it is too. I like this blue glass top they've got here. Also some pop-up lights which spring up in the evening for some ambient lighting. There's fridge and ice maker down here as well. And then this is a real sort of Westport hallmark design. This really well covered cockpit space, shady, breezy, nice place to have lunch in the heat of the day and loads of floor space to walk around. You've even got a TV that swings down from that overhead so people sitting there can watch some television. Over on this side, this is up to the Flybridge, and this is a really good staircase down into the engine room. We're of course going to visit that later on. We're going to visit the interior in a second as well, but before we go inside through those doors, let's stay on deck and head up front. There's quite a lot going on these side decks, and they're linked all the way around up to the foredeck. First thing is you've got doors on both sides, so you can close these to stop the breeze funneling into the cockpit when people are dining in there. There are side gates on both sides as well, so if you're moored side two, it's very easy to get on and off. There's a gangplank as well that I'll show you in a second. Big chunky mooring gear right at foot level though, so you've got to watch your toes if you're walking around barefoot because that could be a little bit painful. And then we arrive at a pair of sliding doors. This one leads into the passageway just aft of the owner's cabin. On the other side they go straight into the galley, which is really nice, and I'll show you that once we're on the inside. And here is the carbon fibre gangplank I was telling you about. This is a nice bit of engineering, isn't it? So yeah, if you're side two, this slots in. You've got a really easy way to get on and off the boat if you're alongside the pontoon. Let's head right forward. There's a really prominent flare on this bow. It really arcs out as you move forward. It looks great on here and it'll be really good if you're going through heavy seas as well. Now, because this main deck stretches such a long way forward to account for the owner's cabin, this is not a very big living space. You've got this nice bench here which really catches the evening sun. It's absolutely lovely, but you know, there are rivals which have got sunbeds up here, tables, the works. So this is a little bit minimalist. It's really a working area, gorgeous equipment here as well. The bell centrally, obviously you've got twin anchors, all your mooring gear here. It's all very sort of purposeful, but not much of a living space. Well, that's the decks then. Let's head inside and check out the interior. Through the Star Trek doors then and inside the interior, and when I mentioned a surprise in the intro, this is what I was referring to. Maybe unfairly, I thought of Westport as being very traditional, heavy on the inside, dark, traditional. Not the case in here. It's bright, it's interesting, dare I say. It feels quite European, but I really like the decor in here, and it's practical as well. Things like having these huge storage areas either side with all the glassware fiddled away. This boat comes with everything, cutlery, glassware, crockery, it's all in the price. They really want to make it a turnkey package, and obviously it's well located for guests to be served by the crew. You can have the dining space forward or you can have it aft like this here. I think this works nicely because it's connected to the cockpit. Some interesting decor choices. I'm not quite sure what these remind me of, but put in the comments what they remind you of. Either way, there are little interesting decor delights all over the place. And I really like this furniture, the mix of sofas, very comfortable looking armchairs down there with the light over the top. Obviously the TV is front and center, so you can sit down and watch a movie, and loads of light coming in here. Big windows, views out are great as well. It's a really well proportioned space. If we head forward, we get to another surprise, which is the galley. Now this is something that you don't often see on European boats, and that is this family style kitchen. And it does feel like a boat where crew and owner are going to have a more familial relationship. The fact that you can sit in this type of breakfast nook while the chef's cooking away, have your breakfast in here, chat to them. If the owner wants to do a bit of cooking, it feels like the sort of kitchen you'd find in a home, not necessarily on board a boat. I mentioned these sliding doors when we were on deck. You can leave these open, people can drift in and out, help themselves to snacks and drinks, and yeah, it all just feels very family orientated and nicely equipped as well. I love this big island. You've got really good cooking facilities over here with decent extraction overhead, big sub-zero fridge as well, freezer drawers down here and lots of counter space too. It connects forward down to the crew area, which we're going to check out in a moment. But for now, let's stay on this deck and head forward and check out the owner's suite. Before we get there though, these are the sliding doors on the starboard deck that I pointed out when we were out on the deck a moment ago. You've got a day head here as well, and then this staircase leads up to the raised pilot house. So we've got the bridge up there, and pop up there later on. And now we're into the owner's cabin. The first thing you see is a really good size, almost full beam walk-in wardrobe. That's lovely. And now we're into the bulk of the cabin. Really bright in here, huge windows, so natural light is great. You've got lovely views as well when you're lying in bed. And I must say, the carpet is very squidgy, comfortable underfoot. It's really nicely furnished. It's much brighter downstairs in terms of the decor. I'll show you when we get down to the guest cabins. This is much more muted, but again, with things like these lighting fixtures and the swirl patterns and the indirect lighting, it's really nice. Space up there for a big TV with a big sound bar as well, so you can watch TV in bed. There's an iPad over there which controls all the AV independently. A chaise long underneath this window, storage over there, and quite an interesting arrangement in the bathrooms as well, which has quite a unique arrangement because there's a shared shower in the middle, but it's really big, and then you've got identical sink and toilet, totally separate, so you can choose which one you prefer, and if you really want, you can both sit on the toilet and wave at each other. Right, that's the owner's cabin. Let's go downstairs and check out the guest spaces. Right, down to the lower deck then, where the guests are going to be sleeping. First things first, the bottom of the stairs, you have this storage area. To be honest, crew are going to use that. It's a good place to have towels and linens and things like that. We're going to start heading amidships, where we find two pretty much identical double cabins. And they're nicely done, these. This one is particularly bright and welcoming when you come in. They've all got slightly different themes, but there are things they share as well, which is loads of head height, nice big berths, really comfortable beds, big bedside tables, really good AV as well. You can see you've got speakers in the ceiling, nice TV mounted up on the wall, and storage is good as well. Big wardrobe behind the ensuite door, drawer storage too, and they've all got private bathrooms. They're a good size. Separate shower cubicles, plenty of storage in there as well. They're nice and bright. Nice places to be. We head this way, we find another double. Again, very similar in layout to what we've just seen. Slightly darker, slightly more somber in here, not quite as bright, but yeah, similar stuff. Space is really good and really comfortable. Again, really good separate shower cubicle inside that bathroom. It's lovely, the spaces work together really well. But the room next door is interesting. The room of many possibilities. When they gave us the tour, Westport said, you can do anything you want in here, leave your imaginations to it, but what they mean is you could have a gym, a study. They've actually put some extra headroom in here. If you have got a treadmill, you're bouncing along, you're not going to crack your head on the ceiling. Equally, these are Pullman berths, so these drop down, so you can have semi-permanent berths, or if you just want another double, they'll put a permanent double in here, because there is a bathroom over there as well. So yeah, super flexible space, and it connects directly to the crew area. Wait until you see this crew area. First things first, laundry on this side, two of each, which is always nice. This staircase leads up to the galley, so they have access through the guest accommodation, but also from that deck as well. And here on the starboard side, private captain's cabin. It's a really good size as well. Double bed, TV up here, a desk behind the door, and a private bathroom, big enough to have a separate shower cubicle. That's really nice. And then just forward of that, we come to the crew mess. Their seating area, You know, they are connected to the galley, but it's nice that they've got a big fridge and freezer down here. There's a sink over there, coffee maker, so they do have facilities on this level, and of course the big screen. The downside to this arrangement is that we're not that close to the engine room, so they've got the cameras up, as you can see. They can see by eye, make sure everything is as it should be from here forward on the lower deck. And then we have identical bunk cabins. We'll just go into the starboard side one. They are exactly the same pair of bunks, and then like with the captain's cabin forward, you have the separate bathrooms. So private bathrooms, nice sized cabins. It's a really comfortable crew space. So we've seen where the crew sleep. Let's head upstairs and have a look at where they drive the boat from. Right, up to the raised pilot house then, and the thing that is really striking about this is the sheer size of it. It is absolutely huge. The depth on this area is pretty amazing for something of this length, and there's just loads of nice floor space to wander around in. This boat's only got one helm chair. Obviously there's space for another one there. You could spec that if you wanted to, but yeah, the sheer amount of room in here is impressive, and it's got a big glazed area, nice deep windscreens. It's not like you're looking through a letterbox. You're looking over the sort of brow of the deck below, but yeah, the view essentially from this helm seat is really good, and you've got controls in your armrest as well, so you can sit back in the seat and control this suite of screens where you've got everything from navigation to radar. I've got the engine room on the cameras there. You've obviously got all the digital switching for the boat up there as well, and this is a cool trick. This all hides away, so when you're not using these controls, they're on a little pop-up. They pop out of nowhere seemingly, and then if you want to clear it all away, they all do this. You've got this slider at the top, and you can keep them away from prying eyes, make sure no one's pushing buttons when there's nobody up here. When it is in use, these two ZF throttles are attached to a pair of 2,200 horsepower Caterpillar engines, a top speed of 25 knots, so it will get a bit of a shift on. Equally, if you slow it down to 12 knots, you're looking at a range of 2,500 nautical miles. You've got really good cruising versatility there. Up at 20 knots if you want to get a move on, or slow it right down, and you've got thousands of nautical miles. It's also got belts and braces stabilisation, two Seakeeper 35s when you're stationary. When you're on the move, the Naiad fins take over. So yeah, real belt and braces stuff. And then, you know, I've mentioned the familial nature of a boat like this, and I think that's why this is so big, because it's likely that guests or owner and crew will mingle up here. They'll all sit up here when the boat's going along, when the weather's not so good. On a night passage, there's enough space for lots of people to sit up here and enjoy the ride. And you've still got a great view back here of all the screens, this wrap-around effect. A nice bright day like this is just wonderful. And I like this final thing. It's quite dark in here for obvious reasons. You don't want it to glare, but this little pop of colour from the surfboard is a nice touch. Right, let's head up to the Flybridge. And the really nice thing about the raised pilot house design is how close you are to the upper helm. So you can drive from up here on a nice day. Now, in stark contrast to that bridge down there, this just feels a little bit dated to me. This is a brand new boat, and this looks like a helm that's designed 10 years ago. But of course, the owner has control over things like the electronics. This is all quite old school. If you wanted more modern, Garmin, Simrad, Raymarine, you could do that. And you've got sort of a scaled down version of what we have down there. We've got a couple of screens, you've got your controls for the throttles, thrusters, that sort of thing. Pretty old school little wheel, but you've got your nice adjustable helm seats. You can sit comfortably, and of course it's flanked by these seating areas. It's also flanked by a couple of wing stations. So even though you're quite close to the helm here, it's nice you can get right to the side of the boat. So if you're coming alongside, I've got a really nice view down the side, forward and aft, and then a bit like down there, this all disappears when you're not using it. It's a simple mechanism. Push it down, clicks into place. This feels a little bit crude, but it does the job. And then they're hidden away so nobody can mess around with them when they're not in use. And then obviously moving aft, we have the living space on board the Flybridge. This seating area is nice. Obviously it's somewhere where you can have snacks and drinks, but also because it's raised, it's near the seat, it's a good place for guests to sit when the boat's moving along maybe, and keep the skipper company. And then moving behind that, underneath still the protection of the hardtop, you've got your split servery on this side, nice bar over there, but this is where you've got the grill, you're cooking, there's a wine cooler here, a fridge, a sink, all that sort of stuff. And then you turn, and if you're up here cooking, you've got this great connection down the mezzanine to the people in the tub. The tub is very much front and centre. I really like the way the steps flank it. Incidentally, there's huge storage underneath those steps. And then you're down to this really lovely, wide, flat deck area. Again, another nice bar detail with the pop-up lights, just like downstairs. Works really well. And as you can probably tell from the crane, This is always where you can store a 17-foot tender if you want to. But when the tender's cleared off and it's laid out like this is just a really nice place to lounge around in the sun. But they have got a sail arrangement of covers that attach up there and give you full shade if you want a bit of shade up here. And this staircase down here, this nice curved staircase, leads down to the cockpit and ultimately down to the engine room. So let's head down there. There are a couple of options for engine room access. There's this one that I pointed out earlier on. You can also get directly in from the beach club. Let's go down this way. From that staircase, you enter a lazarette first. This passageway leads to that watertight door from the beach club that I mentioned a second ago. Here we have the shore power conversion units, and then this is where the engineers' workbenches, tools, vice, worktop storage, all very neat and tidy. Down here, there's a separate air-conditioned technical space where you have things like the Glendinning auto-reel shore power cable, and then through this enormous watertight door, you're into the engine room itself. And this is another very impressive space. You can see how much room there is between the two Caterpillar engines. There's plenty of headroom in here as well, and I've got a couple of water makers either side of me when I walk in. They're water makers but also spot zero, so you're using filtered water to clean the boat with. It means when the crew wash down the boat, it's not leaving any water stains, makes their lives a lot easier. You've got twin 80 kilowatt generators as well, which you can run in parallel, but the captain says you never need to. One 80 kilowatt generator is enough to run pretty much all the systems on this boat. And remember, you've got both twin seakeepers and fins. So there's a lot of equipment, but plenty of power from the generators. Really easy to see all the fuel switching on that forward bulkhead. Big filters as well, twin filters you can switch crosses if one gets blocked. Westport has dabbled in commercial building, shipbuilding, and you can see that with the depth of the engineering in this space. This is my first experience of a Westport, and I have to say my preconceptions have been completely obliterated. I expected it to feel very American, traditional, heavy, especially on the inside, but I have to say it's lovely inside there. It's fresh, it's bright, it's modern, there's a huge amount of space. Okay, on the outside it's very classic, but what I think is especially nice is that they're giving you a turnkey package that's a really nice family boat. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below and how it compares to its European rivals. Thanks very much for watching that tour of the Westport 117. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give us a like if you did. And if you want some more shameless Americana, how about the Viking 74? Epic sports fisher. I've got a tour of that up there for you. And if you'd like to subscribe, you can do that by clicking up there. Thanks again for watching. I'm Jack Haines. This is YachtBuyer.